You ever wonder what happened to Steven Strasburg, the phenomenal rookie that somehow faded off the face of the planet, won a World Series in 2019, and then we haven't heard anything from him since? Well, in this video, I'm going to go over exactly what happened to him and where he's at right now. But before we get into it, I just want to thank y'all so much for all the support on the videos that I've been getting here recently. It really means a lot to me. And if you haven't already, go and subscribe to the channel. If you are new, it always helps me out and helps me grow this channel. And if you're as big of a baseball fan as I am, this is the channel for you. I have a lot more videos on baseball, and I'm going to be continuing to pump these out every single week that I can. Thank y'all so much for watching, and right back into the video. Yes, Steven Strasburg. I remember him like it was yesterday. Actually, 13 years ago yesterday. You see, the thing about Steven Strasburg that you gotta remember is coming out of college, he was one of the more highly talented pitchers in all the country. The guy clocked a fastball in at 103 miles per hour, man. And I know that doesn't sound impressive nowadays because we have so many guys that throw 100 plus miles an hour, but back in 08, 09, that was pretty rare. If you were throwing 95 to 99, you were like the top 5% of all MLB pitchers for velocity. 103 miles an hour, yeah, you were going to go in the first round. And so with the 49th pick in the first round, the Washington Nationals would actually pick up Steven Strasburg. Another thing about Steven, y'all got to realize is whenever he was picked, it was thought that he would go straight from college to the starting rotation wherever he went. He was going to skip the minor leagues. That's how good this kid was. After being drafted, there really wasn't a lot of buzz about Steven, to be honest with you. There wasn't a lot of people or sports analysts or anything talking about him, writing articles about him. He kind of just got drafted and he was forgot about for about a year. But in 2010, he'd make his first start. And let me tell you, when I say about special starts, first appearances as a player in the major leagues, you couldn't really get much better than what Steven gave. The dude struck out 14 batters through 7 innings and only allowed 2 runs. In fact, I remember that start. I was 12 years old at the time. I came home, turned on MLB Network, and there Harold Reynolds was talking about Steven Strasburg, the phenom. Like I said, they said that he punched out 14 batters in 7 innings of work with only 2 runs allowed. And let me tell you, this was one of the most buzzed, hyped rookies at the time that we had seen in quite some time in the majors. With that kind of a performance for your first start as your career, there's a big expectation and lofty goals that come with that. And so people were wondering what he would follow that up with. And let me tell you, that rookie season in 2010, pretty special. 12 starts, 5-3 record, 2.91 ERA, 68 innings pitched, 92 Ks, and a 1.07 whip. And I think the most impressive stat out of all that is his K through 9s was 12 per 9 innings. So he struck out 12 batters per 9 innings. When you talk about phenomenal rookie seasons of the 2010s, Stevens is right up there with some of the best. And so when that season ended, people wondered what was the follow-up to that. Would this kid be that good next year, be better, drop off? Would the league adjust to what he was throwing? Well, unfortunately, that wasn't the case. Because in early 2011, an unfortunate arm blowout of Steven would cause him to be sidelined for the rest of the season, missing the entirety of the 2011 season, needing Tommy John surgery, and that was it for him that year. And you got to remember, even in 2011, Tommy John surgery, it wasn't as effective as it is now. Recovery rates weren't as good as they are now. Players didn't always come back like they do now, or most of them come back now and still have similar velocity and movement on their pitches, control and command with the comfort that they do now. So the Nationals organization, fans, and MLB analysts alike were kind of scratching their heads wondering if Steven was going to come back with the same amount of velocity and control, and even if he'd come back at all. Not only would Steven Strasburg come back, he come back with a vengeance. Strasburg had one of the most underrated, under-talked about 8-year stretches of the 2010s. 2012 to 2019, Steven was one of the most consistent pitchers in the league. In 2017, he'd have this absolute best season with a 15-4 record, 2.52 ERA, 175 innings pitched, 204 strikeouts, and a 1.01 whip. And in 2019, it finally happened. Steven Strasburg, Max Scherzer, along with Juan Soto and the Washington Nationals would reach the peak of baseball, winning the 2019 World Series, beating some of the great teams like the Dodgers and the Houston Astros that year. With Max Scherzer departing in that offseason, many were looking towards Steven Strasburg to be, again, the ace of the team. Unfortunately for Strasburg, injuries and COVID had other ideas. In 2020, a apparent hand injury would get so severe that it would sideline Steven Strasburg for the rest of the year, knocking him out. Steven would again in 2021 try to return, but due to a litany of shoulder and neck injuries, it would knock him out prematurely for the season. I think it's unfortunate for Steven because even now in 2022, he's still trying to recover from that shoulder and neck neck injury. Steven is designated for assignment right now in rehab, and in a recent interview with his manager, he said that they're waiting to see on how Steven feels and if he's ready to come back yet. While Steve is looking to jump back into year 13 from where he once was in 2019, the national team around him continues to struggle. We can only hope that he rehabs and comes back as strong as when he left. You guys love to know y'all's thoughts and opinions on this in the comment section down below. My name is Shane, and I will see y'all in the next one. Adios, mi amigos.
Take it back to the days when the sun wanna shine, but the birds still fly like they used to. And the chick that I love is making me go nuts in my ear saying I don't wanna lose you.